Hello and welcome to another Wednesday evening chat with Louise. Oh, bit of a rush one today, sorry. I wanted to talk about triggers because today, you know when you think you're really getting good at this thing and then somebody pushes your buttons and it just one after another and you feel your blood pressure going up and you're like, oh, I thought I'd got over this. So yeah, what triggers you and how do you deal with it really? And my little sister's over, and we were talking about family things, and she is one of the most, I would say, zen people you know. She's really lovely, and nothing ever bothers her. But I'm going back about 8 years ago. We went to Center Parcs for a weekend as a family. It was a one-off. We had a really lovely time, but we took board games to play, and we were playing Monopoly, it was hilarious because she got so angry and so cross. This is a woman that nothing ever phases her. She ended up chucking the board across the room, and she can't believe she did it, and we still laugh about it now. But she couldn't understand how you could be so ruthless and that you were taking money off other people and landing on their properties and taking it away. So bless her, she's a very lovely person. But it did make me laugh that was what triggered her. And today I was driving and somebody was driving at literally 10 miles an hour in a 60, and I felt myself rising again. And now I'm having to learn to go, do you know what, doesn't matter if I get there, because sometimes it feels like you're going to be really, really late. Yeah, sometimes that person driving slow can be the matter of 2 minutes. And I was thinking to myself, do you know what, I like to think now that that's there for a reason, and it's slowed me down. Probably stopped me being in an accident. I've probably missed something further down the road. So that's kind of how I've learnt to deal with the traffic side of things, or people pinching my car parking spaces. You know, one stage I would have been ready to jump out of the car and have a fight with them, and now it's like, do you know what, I'll come find another one. So yeah, coping well with that. But then I also went out with my mum the other day, and a few years back I couldn't actually be in the same room as her for more than an hour. Obviously things had built up over the years. There's 4 of us, 4 girls in our family, and I just felt she treated us all differently. And I suppose I've always been the black sheep of the family, never wanted to conform, never wanted to fit in, and still don't, never will do. I think she's still waiting for me to get a proper job, because they all were in, like my sister, one's a solicitor, there's teachers, mum was a teacher, I was more like dad, he was self-employed, he was the farmer, and I've been self-employed all my life. And I like to have lots of variety. I love working, I work really hard, but I just don't want to be in that 9 till 5, sitting on a motorway, so yes, I always felt like I was the disappointment. And it was strange that it built over the years to the point where it didn't matter what she did, it would trigger me. And I probably triggered her. And that was something that I've had to learn, that for every trigger that we have, it's probably a reflection back. So we're probably triggering them just as much. And I said that was quite hard to accept, that responses are due to perhaps how I behave. And I don't really remember the process of what happened and why it doesn't happen anymore. So how could I go from something that was that extreme, bearing in mind we had a lovely childhood. I was very, very lucky that, you know, we were all treated equally as small children. So I don't know where that really came from, and then how it's disappeared now, to the point that I go every week and I'll do some healing for her, and I wash her hair and blow dry her hair, and at one stage I couldn't be in the same room. So that's a real, perhaps I'm growing up, nearly 59. I don't know. It's an interesting process, and other people's triggers. Like my son was a great one for pushing buttons. Oh my gosh, he could wind me from 0 to 60 literally in 3 or 4 things, and then it would get me to the stage where I just would be like, just go away. And is that because we're similar? I don't know, but again, that doesn't happen. anymore. You're probably all sitting there thinking, gosh, what an utter, what a horrible person she is. But I'm just being honest. You know, when you're out and about and certain people will do certain things, I mean, I'm still triggered by people dropping rubbish in front of me. Oh, but do I want to start a fight anymore? No. Do I just pick it up and put it in a bin? Yes. Would I like them to feel ashamed by it? Yes, I would. But I think we live in a bit of a scary world now, and I think confrontation is not always a good idea. So looking into it more lately, and how other people deal with it, and often people say is first sit with it. Think about why am I feeling angry? Why has that allowed my blood pressure to go through the roof? Why does it really matter? You know, why? And once I've sat with that, try and understand that often people's behaviours to do with them and their life and what's going on in their world. So, and then I also tried to sit and think, well, gosh, has my behaviour triggered people? And that's a tricky one to deal with. So I'm looking at this, and I think it's especially poignant around Christmas time, because families are often pushed together in circumstances where it's not necessarily something you want to have to deal with. Often ex-partners have to come into the picture because there's children, and especially with little ones around Christmas, and also the expectations of what people expect you to do, to look like. I mean, wearing Christmas jumpers is another one for me. I flipping hate them. But you know what? I don't buy one, but I can borrow one. And if somebody wants me to wear one for something, yes, I can do that. So perhaps it's learning to be more flexible and learning to wonder, will it worry me in a week's time? Will it worry me in a month's time? Will it worry me in 5 years' time? And that's kind of a benchmark for me. If I do that, how will it affect my life down the line? And if sometimes it's a case of letting something go, letting somebody be right even when you know they're wrong, that's another one that I've struggled with, because when I know something's wrong, it really used to bother me. And it's about, right, maybe I'm too black and white, but when you listen to somebody, and also somebody revving up their engine when they go by, I don't know if you heard that. We get that at 2 and 3 in the morning. And now I've just got to learn and listen to that and go, I'm warm, I'm safe, I'm in my bed. Hey, they might be coming home from work after a stressful day. So I think it's, learning just to be a little bit more forgiving. They say about sending love back to people like that. Well, when somebody's really mean and really nasty, I get that it's hard to do that. But I think just not having a reaction to it, not allowing it to have any effect on us, if you like. So when we're sitting there in the next week or two, having to have these situations where we're with people and we don't necessarily want to be there, just being really present, just getting in there, getting in that moment and not letting things get to us. And then making sure that you do nice things for you, that you enjoy. So kind of getting balance, I think. So what's going to trigger us going into the new year, and how we're going to deal with it. And I hope you don't get any of those. I hope that life just is really lovely and really smooth. But if they do trigger you, just think, does it matter? How will it hurt me? How will it affect me? In 5 years' time, will I even remember this moment? And mostly the chances are we won't. So much love to you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.